fourth graders, welcome to my teacher model. Before we get started, I'm going to show you a couple of things that I have that I'm going to be using to model. So on slide 2, I have my handout, which is something similar you guys are going to use in your student practice. Here I have my anchor chart with steps 1, 2, 3, and 4 that I'm going to walk through. And then on slide 3, I have pages 2 and 6, which is what I'm going to use to either find events, ideas, or steps. So let's get started by reading pages 2 and 4. So I'm going to start over here by reading the sidebar, and then I'm going to jump into the text. So Wilson Bentley was born February 9th, 1865 on a farm in Jericho, Vermont, between Lake Champlain and Mount Mansfield, in the heart of the snow belt where the annual snowfall is about 120 inches. Willie Bentley's happiest days were snowstorm days. He watched snowflakes fall on his mittens on the dried grass of Vermont farm fields. When his mother gave him an old microscope, he used it to look at flowers, raindrops, and blades of grass. Best of all, he used it to look at snow. While other children built forts and pelted snowballs at roosting crows, Willie was catching single snowflakes. Day after stormy day, he studied the icy crystals. So let's jump in. So step 1, what does the text describe? So in the beginning of the lesson, we talked about how this text is a biography. A biography is a historical text about the events in a real person's life. That key word right there for me is events. So therefore, I'm focusing on the event section in steps 2 and 3. I'm not focusing on ideas. I'm not focusing on steps. I'm going to be focusing on events. Step 2, in a biography, events are the most important details, even if the person is a scientist. So here are some guiding questions that I can use. What are the events in order? Who did what? When and where? So now I'm going to go back and look over here on page 2. So who? Willie's mother. What did she do? She gave Willie an old microscope. When did she do this? In the winter, we can see by the snow. And then where? Outside in the snow. So this is the event that I'm focusing. I'm focusing on when Willie's mother gave him the microscope. So now looking back over here on step 3, I'm still focusing on the event section. So what are the causes and effects of the event? I need to look for some keywords. Because, cause, as a result, therefore. These are some signal words that I'm looking for. So now let's go back over here to page 6. So another signal word that goes for that can be used for cause and effect is when. When. So we know something is happening here. When Willie's mother gave him a microscope, he could study nature, especially the snow. So I'm still focusing on that event. Now, if I'm going to step 4. Why are these events important, or why is this event important? So in order to figure out why this event is important, I'm going to go back and look over here on page 2. I know from page 2 that Willie loved snow. So he watched snowflakes fall on his mittens. He was happy on snowstorm days. So I know he loved snow. Now, with this microscope, he could learn more about it. It says on page 6, Willie was catching single snowflakes. Day after stormy day, he studied the icy crystals. So this is why this event is important. So now let's go over here and look at my handout so I can type in this information. So what is the event? Willie started to study snowflakes in detail. I know this from page 6. Why did this event happen? This event happened because who gave Willie the microscope? His mom. His mother gave him a microscope. And done. So this is all that I'm doing. I found my event and I'm thinking about why this event happened. So when you go and do your student practice, you're going to think about what event is happening in pages 1 through 15. And then you're going to also figure out, why did this event happen? So 1, think about the event. 2, tell why it happened. In order to do this, you go through each step. Step 1, what does the text describe? Step 2, what are the events? Step 3, what are the causes and effects of the event? And then step 4, you're making that connection. Why are these events important? So that's what you're going to do for your student practice. Now you're going to continue with Nearpod so you can get the directions for what you guys are going to be doing in your student practice. Bye.